Good morning, everybody. This is Christian. It's been about a couple of weeks since I've uploaded a video. I apologize for that. I will try to put up a video at least every week, at least once a week, if not more often. The purpose of this channel is to teach you things that I've been taught, and so I wanted to share one with you guys. I mentioned a couple weeks back that I had gone to see a pastor and had shared some stuff that God had showed me with him. And then while I was there, he asked me if he had told me his dream that he had. And of course he hadn't, so he shared this dream with me. So I thought I'd share it with you guys. So he shares this dream with me that he had. And in the dream, it starts off, he is in his son's vehicle. He is driving down White Road, and immediately I stop him when he's telling me this, and I ask him, is it a painted road that's white, or is the name of the road white? And he says it's the name White Road, and it's the actual road that is in his town he lives in. And in that town and on that road is a college, UACCB. And so he specifies that, then he goes on with his dream. He says, so I'm driving my son's vehicle down White Road, and all of a sudden a vehicle behind him starts to come around like it's going to pass him, and it gets ahead of him. And it's a truck. And in the back of this truck, in the bed of this truck, he sees a man facing him, sitting down in the back of this truck, with a pistol in his hand, and he's shooting across the other line of traffic, right? The other side of the road. And immediately he's thinking to himself, the pastor's thinking to himself, this is so illegal, it's insane that this guy's doing this, because if somebody else were coming down that other line of traffic, they would actually have the potential of accidentally shooting and killing somebody, right? It's a horrible thing to be doing, very illegal. Then he goes on to say that the road starts to go up and down and up and down. I don't remember if it was up and down, or down and up and down and up, but regardless, it starts to go very hilly, right? Up and down, up and down. And up ahead, about a quarter of a mile, he sees two more trucks off the side of the road. And in the back of each truck, he sees two individuals instead of one. And each individual has a fully automatic weapon, and they're shooting across both lanes of traffic. And every time they pull the trigger, wow, every time they pull the trigger, he sees two guns crossed, like you would imagine two guns crossed. And every time they pull the trigger, they light up red. So it's this, kind of thing. That's some sound effects for you. And that is the end of his dream. The interpretation that I got for this dream actually came in two parts, because as he was telling me the dream, there were certain things that stood out to me right off the bat, and then later when I was thinking about a certain element or a principle of interpreting a certain dream that I had in the past, let me realize information about his dream, and then from there I was able to, and just actually God gave me the entire interpretation. I was able to go through the whole thing. So I'm going to give you the interpretation I have, and I'm going to stop as I'm doing so and kind of share pieces with you and why it's important, because it may apply to dreams that you have in the future. The first thing that stood out to me when I heard this dream, I tried to walk myself through the dream like I had it myself, so I could see and feel what they're feeling and seeing in the best I can. The first thing was that he was driving his son's vehicle and not his own. That's odd. A vehicle, in a situation we're talking about a vehicle that's on the ground, is something in the physical world that God has given you the ability to do. It might be a job, might be a business. We often refer to investments as investment vehicles, okay? So it's important to take note of that. If you have a dream, you see a vehicle, whose vehicle is it? Who's driving that vehicle? These are things that should stand out to you. And in this particular dream, we see that he is driving his son's vehicle. That's odd. The next thing that stood out to me was the fact that it's White Road, W-H-I-T-E. There's a reason why God brought out the name of that road. He told you which road this is. And in this particular situation, I know because the pastor informed me that that is the road that goes to the college in the town that he lives. And so it probably has something to do with that, but I'm not jumping to any conclusions. So we'll keep that in mind, that this particular road is important to take note of. And that's the road that he's on. And the other element that I also caught on to, I know he mentioned that the dream had been doubled. He said, well, it was doubled and therefore it's established, and I corrected him because you don't want to add to or take away from the Word of God. And it doesn't say that a thing that's doubled is established. It says a thing that's doubled is both established and soon to come. It's important you do not add to or take away from the Word of God if you're going to get the right interpretation. So he noted that point, and I corrected him at that point, because it's not that the dream has been doubled. It's that an element within the dream has been doubled. The end, we see two vehicles, right? We'll talk about that in a minute. But anyway, that part is established and soon to come, okay? Not the entire dream. There's two different elements there. The next thing that I picked up on wasn't the doubling, it was the fact that it escalates. You have one vehicle, one shooter shooting across one lane of traffic, and he's using a semi-automatic gun, right? Semi-automatic weapon. In the end of it, we see two vehicles, two shooters per vehicle, two weapons per vehicle, shooting across both lanes of traffic, and it's a full automatic weapons, right? So that's what I first noted. What this dream is showing you is an escalation. Something's going to happen, and it's going to escalate, right? From a point where you have little mobility to where you have no mobility. You can go no further, okay? That's the thing that stood out to me. Also, the cross of the guns, where the guns, he's got to see some cross like this, and they light up red every time that they pull the trigger. They hear the it just lights up red and again and again. That stood out to me as being like you would see if you're driving down the road and you come to railroad crossing. You would see the X in America. You would see an X indicating a railroad crossing, and you'd be cautious there. But in this particular case, they light up red, and so this is telling you to stop. One more point that I want to make, and this is really important. I believe it's really important for those of you who are maybe having dreams or visions or things of that nature. You're trying to interpret them. This is a big piece of the puzzle. You want to, if you see yourself on a road or walking down a path, that is the path you're on in life, or the road you're going down in life, and that is going to be showing you the future. The further you go down that road, the further you're seeing into the future, or the further you look down that road. And you want to pay attention to what comes up as you're walking down this road. What happened first? What happened second? What happened third? Those are the things that are going to be happening and to take place in that order. Okay. Also, when you see a road like that, you know that the further you go down it, the further you're seeing into the future. Then what's behind you is the past. Okay, and that's really important as well. Okay, so this is the interpretation that I have from the Lord for this pastor, and it's simply that he's driving his son's vehicle, not his own, down this road, right? And as he's driving down this road, something from the past will come back around, and will be in front of him, and it will start to reduce mobility. That lane over here, the other lane, the left-hand lane, is now dangerous. You can't go over there. So he's reduced his ability, and he's cautious now. He's got something going on in front of him, and then there'll go some ups and downs, and then at a distance, he will see this new set of vehicles. Now, it's important to note on the ups and downs, that's ups and downs in life, okay? I don't remember if he said they were going to go down and up and then down again, or whether it was the other way around, if it was up and then down and then up. I don't remember. But in any event, there will be some ups and downs. And you will get to the point where he sees at a distance, roughly a quarter mile, two more vehicles off to the side of the road. And you note again, you had one vehicle that had moved in front of him, and now up ahead he's going to have two vehicles. So you see the escalation here, and that part is established. The end is established, not the entire dream, just the end. So at any point in time on this road, he can stop what he's doing. He can stop driving down this road. If he doesn't, he's going to start to see that there's a reduction of mobility, and there's going to be some ups and downs he's going to come to, and then he's going to start to see this point where he can cross no further. It's just going to be one of those do not cross this line. And if you attempted to do so, I think it would be very, very foolish. It's important to also note, had the other set of vehicles been on the road the way the first vehicle was, and only been shooting across the single lane, then it's going to be an escalation. But you could still, if you stay on the right side of the road, you could still make your way through it, okay? But that's not what the guy actually dreamt. In his dream, he sees both lines of traffic have been shut down, okay? So he's seeing that he's not going to be able to pass this point. That means that if you continue down this road and you get here, that is established, okay, and it is soon to come. You will not be able to change that fact. In fact, you will have to stop. You will have to turn around and go back the way you came, which means the ups and downs, you're going to go through that part twice, okay? So that's the way that you would analyze that. Now, I also mentioned to this friend of mine that because I don't know all the details of his life, on this particular road, the road was named White Road. And that particular road references the town that he lives in and the college that's on that road, which is UACCB. And he even mentioned that he thought it had something to do with his son's college selection thing, and I agree. However, had he not literally been trying to get his kid to go to UACCB, then it means one thing. If he was literally trying to get his kid to go to this particular college, UACCB, then it means something else. It's important to note, if he was trying to get his son to go to that college that's on White Road, which would actually be UACCB, then the dream is telling you not that school, okay? However, if he was not actually trying to get his kid to go to that particular college, then it's symbolic. And so in that case, you'd be saying, the interpretation would be saying, stop trying to direct your kid's college selection. It would be more symbolic in that case. So you'd want to just say, okay, you know what, I'm in the wrong vehicle. I'm driving someone else's vehicle. They're old enough to drive. They're old enough to have their own vehicle. They're old enough to make that decision, right? God's given them the vehicle, so let them choose it, right?